Hey guys, welcome. In this video, I'm going to be showing you what to do when you fall off track with your personal growth. And I'm smiling because when I first began my personal development journey, this here was a giant problem for me. When I was 16 years old, I was very dissatisfied with the type of life I was living. I would just play video games for literally 14 hours a day, eat tons of junk food, smoke weed every day, and I just really didn't feel good. My mind felt foggy. I was depressed all the time. I had no energy, motivation, which I didn't like because I felt like I'm someone who has more potential than just sitting around and doing nothing all day. So I was doing some Googling on the internet and I found actualize.org that introduced me to this idea of self-actualization, personal development. You can grow yourself to becoming the best version of yourself. And this is something that you can actually do intentionally every single day, consistently over a long period of time with little investments every single day compounded over 5 or 10 years. That is extremely transformative. And I realized that if I can have a vision for myself and if I can strive just a little bit every single day, then I'm going to become a rare and valuable human being, because 99% of people are not doing that. 99% of people are just living for the weekend. They don't have a long-term vision for themselves. So I realized, okay, let's get all excited and motivated to work on myself. I start meditating. I'd start eating healthy, exercising, journaling, reading books, all of these personal development habits. But then I noticed that after a few days, after a week, the motivation would start to wane a little bit. Slowly, I would start to slip out of these new habits. I'd miss one day of meditation, or I would eat a little bit of junk food, and this would turn into a slippery slope. And next thing I knew, I was right back where I started, playing video games, League of Legends, extremely addicted to that game. Just playing video games, smoking, I was gonna say hitting bongs with my friends, and eating junk food, watching porn all day. That's literally what I would do when I was 16, and I would get so discouraged, and I would beat myself up. I would say, what the hell is wrong with me? Why can't I just stick to a habit? It's very simple. Meditate every day. Why can't I just do that without always falling off track? And I would beat myself up. I was very hard on myself. Throughout my whole life, I've been someone who's just very hard on themselves. And this made me feel terrible. So after getting on the train and falling off the train literally hundreds of times within the last 5 years of my life with this since I discovered personal development, I've gotten on and fell off the train hundreds of times. I remember I would play League of Legends until I was so sick of it that my mind was so foggy, and literally in my dreams, I would be dreaming about League of Legends to the point where I was like, okay, I'm sick of this. I would uninstall the game off of my computer. I would go a few days, a week, no FAP, few days, I'd be on my shit. I'd be reading books. I'd feel like I was growing. But then a week later, I would get a craving that I couldn't fight. I would reinstall League of Legends back on my computer. Then I'd binge it again for another couple days. And I'd be back where I started. So this happened literally 30 or 40 times. It's actually kind of crazy how many times I've uninstalled and reinstalled that game on my computer. And what I realized is how to actually stick to your goals and stop falling off, and what to do when you fall off so that you can get back on track as quickly as possible without beating yourself up. Okay, so the first tip I'm going to give you today, the first thing you need to do when you fall off track with your goals is to accept yourself. So when you fall off track with your goals, maybe right now you feel like you're not on track, I want you to say to yourself, it's okay, it's alright, I got something that you gon' like. Just literally say, it's okay, it's alright, it's okay, it's alright. This is completely normal. This is part of the process. I promise you, you will fail your way to success. And really, yes, it's very common for every single person falls off their goals. This is the natural way of things. Your mind is a very complicated system. And just like all systems, it likes to maintain homeostasis, which means that it likes to basically stay the same. So whenever you try and implement a new habit, like meditation or exercise, we try and make a big change in your life, self-actualizing. You've been playing video games doing nothing, watching Netflix all day for years. Now all of a sudden you need to make a giant change in your life. Your mind is a complicated system. It's kind of like a thermostat. So whenever the temperature changes, it's going to kick on the AC or the heat, and it's going to bring you back to your base level that you're used to. Your mind wants to stay comfortable. That's how survival works. That's what keeps you alive. So when you get a cold and you're really sick and you feel terrible, your body deploys antibodies so that you can maintain homeostasis, so that you can be healthy. So this is completely normal. You're always fighting against the force of homeostasis. And what I realized, what has really contributed to my success, where nowadays, if I do fall off track with my goals, it's literally only for a couple hours, or it's for 1 or 2 days, and I don't beat myself up. I'm very loving and accepting of myself, and I can actually use this few days or few hours of falling off track. I can actually accept myself and use that as a learning lesson, so that when I get back on track, I'm twice as powerful than I was before. And the way that I am able to do this now, after hundreds of times of failing, really what I needed to do is just keep getting up after I get knocked down. And this is really the main insight here in this video. I want you to understand. It's going to sound very cheesy, but Rocky Balboa, he said, it's not about how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. And you've probably heard that quote 1,000 times, but it's 100% true. When we're talking about self-actualization, we're talking about becoming the best version of yourself, reaching your full potential, we're talking about a long-term investment. This isn't like a couple weeks, you change your whole life. We're talking about 5, 10, 20-year investment. Really, it's a lifelong investment. For the rest of your life, self-actualization is a never-ending process. There will never be a point in your life where you can sit back, relax, and say, I'm finally self-actualized. That's not how it works. Self-actualization is a verb. It's a process. There's no such thing as a self-actualized person. Really, there's only such thing as a self-actualizing person. It's a verb, not a noun. It's a process. So when you realize you have this commitment, when you realize really there's no other way to live life, you kind of have no choice but to live up to your fullest potential. Because you need to realize that you have one life you have. Sure, the Buddhists talk about past lives, heaven, afterlife, but really we don't fully know. You can't be sure about that. But one thing you can be sure of is that you got one life here, and you might as well make the best of it. You don't want to be 70, 80 years old on your deathbed, regretting all the things you wished you did, regretting the fact that you lived in a state of fear, that you were afraid to take a risk, you were afraid to be consistent with your habits, you didn't practice meditation. The Buddha, the Dhammapada, said, "He whose body grows, but his mind doesn't grow, grows like an ox." It's like your body gets bigger, your body gets older, but your mind stays the same. Which is basically what that means. You need to invest in your mind, in your meditation, your learning, your self-actualization. And you have no choice, really. Because the life of comfort, the life of mediocrity, the unconscious life, the life of Maya, that is actually more painful than consistent growth. Sure, yeah, I know it's a little bit painful to work out at the gym. It's a little bit painful to do daily meditation. It's uncomfortable to read a thick book like The Silk Roads, the entire history of the East. I love this book. I'm only halfway through it, but it's freaking amazing. It's painful to read those books. It's a lot easier just to binge watch cartoons on Netflix and eat popcorn. It's actually more comfortable to do that. But you need to realize that the life of comfort actually turns into pain long term. Whereas the life, you could say, of pain, where you're pushing yourself every single day, taking little steps to push yourself beyond your edge every single day, that actually becomes the easy life. So yeah, for me personally, just as an example, I don't like taking cold showers. It's very uncomfortable. I hate it, especially because I'm someone who gets cold easily. And it's minus 10 degrees and there's snow on the ground here in Toronto. I don't like taking cold showers. But if I can take a cold shower every single day, I can basically, I can condition myself to create internal warmth, to be mentally and physically strong. And having mental and physical strength turns into an easy life in the long run, because now you're strong. But if you're weak mentally, because you're just comfortable all day, then long term it's going to be hard for you, because you're going to be neurotic, you're going to be toxic, you're going to be afraid of everything. You're going to be going to a 9-to-5 job that you hate because you didn't invest in your growth, in your business, or your spirituality. You're going to be always reactive to life. You're going to be chasing after pleasure constantly and running away from pain. You won't have any peace or neutrality because you didn't hone it today. So the point here is that you fall off track, but then you get back on track because you have no choice. You have no choice to get back on track. Some people, they meditate, they say, oh, it's too hard, and then they just quit. They're like, oh, it doesn't work. And then they go on. See, those people, they don't understand. You have no choice but to become an amazing meditator. There's really no other option. You have no choice but to go to the gym and to be physically fit. Because otherwise, you're going to be obese or your body's not going to be in shape And you're going to be living a life of pain. Every day your body's going to hurt. It's going to be painful. Your stomach's going to be filled with unhealthy food. You won't be able to think clearly. You won't be able to execute on your passion. You won't be able to attract a relationship partner. So people that they fall off track, they get discouraged, and then they quit. Those people are going to live a life of pain. And that's why I don't want you to be that person. I want you to be that person that you need to literally get to the point where you realize I have no fucking choice but to become the best version of myself. This is going to happen. Like Eminem said. He said, when I was little, I knew I would grow up and sell a mill, or go nuts and be grow up and be Attila, go nuts and be a killer, or something like that. So he said, like, if I don't become the best version of myself, if I don't succeed and sell 1 million and be a rapper, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Or he also said, and if it's not a rapper that I make it as, I'm gonna be a fucking rapist in a Jason mask. So he's crazy, but I love him. He's basically saying, if I don't be the best version of myself, if it's not a rapper that I make it as, I'm gonna fucking go nuts, and I'm gonna kill myself, basically. This is the attitude. Not literally, don't rape people, obviously goes without saying, but the attitude is, there's no choice. I'm all in on plan A. Arnold Schwarzenegger said, I don't have a plan B. If plan A doesn't work, I find out how to make it work. All right, this reminds me of if you guys watch anime, reminds me of the fight between Rock Lee and Gaara. This is the most legendary anime fight of all time in Naruto. Rock Lee versus Gaara. Gaara was this guy who can control sand. He was 1,000,000 times stronger than Rock Lee. They had to fight each other. But what was so inspiring about this fight and why it's so legendary is because Rock Lee had basically no powers. He wasn't able to control sand. He had no magical powers. All he had was his training. He just trained really, really, really hard. He had no special powers, but what he did have was commitment. And he never quit. He would punch a log 500 times without quitting. And he would tell himself, if I can't do this 500 times, then I have to do 500 squats. And if I can't do 500 squats, then I have to do 500 push-ups. So obviously you don't do that because you're going to get burned out. But this attitude of like, I'm never going to quit. This is what will save you when you fall off track with your goals. Because yeah, sure, maybe I fell off track today, but this is only a temporary thing. I know that I'm going to be the best version of myself no matter what. So little setbacks aren't going to stop me. So back to Rock Lee versus Gaara. Gaara would basically just destroy him. He would, use sand attacks that would it's really nerdy, but I love anime. He would basically destroy Rock Lee, would break his bones, cut him. But what was fucked about this fight was that Rock Lee would keep getting up. He literally would not stop getting up. And he would literally get thrown across the battlefield, smacked into a wall, destroyed by a pillar of sand, crushed in a sand coffin, but he would still keep getting up. He literally had no chance to win. The other guy was way, way stronger than him. He could not win, but he kept getting up. To the point where at the end of the fight, Rock Lee literally, Gaara used this his ultimate attack that just kind of crushed his bones and basically killed him. It's called Sand Coffin. Gaara does this thing, he crushes his fist and then he crushes him. Anyways, he got attacked by the sand coffin and he's lying on the floor and everyone's like, oh my god, he's gonna be dead. But then he gets back up And they see, what? How did he get back up? And they look, and Rock Lee's literally unconscious. He's his lights are out. He's unconscious, but he was still up. He still stood up. He was literally being fueled by pure determination and willpower alone. That's like in the last fight of Rocky, the first Rocky. Rocky says, I can't beat Apollo Creed. I can't beat him. He's the champ. I'm just a nobody from Philadelphia. But I just want to go the distance. I can't win. I know I can't win. But I just want to keep getting up. I just want to survive in that ring. I just want to go all 15 rounds. I know I'm not going to win, but I just want to fucking take him the distance. And there's that scene where Rocky gets knocked down. His coach is like, stay down, don't get up, you idiot. His face is all cut and bruised. He can barely even stand, but he gets up anyways. And David Goggins, one of the most motivated humans I've ever seen, he's kind of neurotic, honestly, but he goes for like super long runs, works out every single day like 12 times. He's crazy. He said that what really motivated him to change when he was fat. David Goggins was overweight. He was an exterminator. He hated his job. What really fucked him up deeply was he was watching Rocky 1, he said, and he said when he saw Rocky get up in the final fight in round 15 or whatever round it was, when he saw Rocky get up, he said he saw the look on Apollo Creed's face like Rocky took his soul. And David Goggins said to himself, he's like, I want that. He said, I will do whatever it takes to be that. He said he cried profusely. And I can definitely relate. Rocky's one of the best movies of all time. The lesson here is that when you fall off track with your growth, you're going to get back on track. You have no choice. Otherwise, you might as well go nuts and be Attila and be a rapist in a Jason mask or kill everyone. Like, not literally, guys. Please, for the love of God, don't hurt any other people. Don't kill yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Please, okay? Don't take my advice in the wrong way. I'm talking about the attitude where it's like plan A or bust. Okay? And there's always a way to make it work. If it looks hopeless right now, if it looks like, you can't make it work now, just wait. Just be consistent. There's always hope in the future, okay? For you guys who are fucking suicidal, please, for the love of God, don't hurt yourself. Okay? Next, the next thing that's very important for what to do when you fall off track with your growth is just to be curious and to learn the lesson with consciousness. This is why not judging yourself and accepting yourself, it's okay, it's all right, is very important, because you need to be able to have self-acceptance so that you can reflect, so that you're not kind of running away from the fact that you're kind of failing, you're falling off track. You need to actually go into the failure, investigate it, be curious about it with neutrality. Ask yourself, okay, I'm falling off track right now, not a huge deal. Why is this happening? So what causes us to fall off track? I'll give you a quick list that I found in my life. First of all is fear. You're afraid of making a change. You're afraid of hard work. You're afraid of people judging you. You're afraid of succeeding and what that will mean. Okay? Fear is a big one. Lack of clarity. Just in your organization, like you have no goals. Your goals aren't clear enough. You don't know where you're going next year or in 5 years. You don't know what you need to do today. You don't write it down in your journal. You don't plan out your agenda, your schedule. This is something I don't do naturally, but I do now every single day, but because I've made it a habit. And I can't function unless I have my shit written down in an agenda, a daily planner. Lack of goals, lack of clarity. If you want some help with that, stay tuned to the end of the video. I'm actually going to be creating a amazing course, a life purpose course that is literally $37, but it's only going to be that price for a few days. So if you want to get that, it's going to be one of the best courses I ever make. I could have easily made it like $1,000, but it's going to be $37. It's going to help you get super clear about your goals, your vision in your life, and then to actually take action on that every single day. If you want to learn more about that, stay tuned to the end of the video where I'm going to tell you how you can get that for an extremely discounted price. Okay? Next, so yeah, you have a weak vision. The reason why you fall off track with your goals is because you have a weak vision. You don't have a clear why. You need that, and you need to be able to connect to that every day, because your subconscious mind is what is dictating the results you're getting. So if you find it's difficult, why is it so hard for me to resist my cravings? Why is it so hard for me to stay consistent? The reason why is because your subconscious mind is still in the old version of yourself. You need to wire your subconscious mind with your positive vision, with your goals, by reviewing them every morning when you wake up and every night before you go to bed. You need to review your long-term goals so that impresses your subconscious mind, and you need to imprint your mind with the idea of, I am this version, this ideal version who is achieving my vision and living it every single day. I am this version. Because right now, if you keep falling off track, it's because you still think you're the old version of yourself. Subconsciously. The subconscious mind dictates 95% of the results you get in your life. The conscious mind, which is what you actually think and tell yourself you're going to do, that's only about 5% of what you actually do. The rest is your subconscious mind, which is what you believe, who you are as a person. Which is why you need to impress your mind in the morning and in the night and at night with your vision, which I'm going to cover in my course, and it's $37, so make sure you get that. Next, neurotic and unconscious action. So the reason why you fall off track is because you're forcing yourself to do things in an unconscious way. The way that your self-talk, the way that you take action is unconscious, neurotic, and it's forceful. So you tell yourself, I'm going to force myself to meditate for 2 hours today. I'm going to force myself to go to the gym and work out for 2 hours. I'm going to force myself to take a cold shower. There's too much willpower you're using. It's too much. You need to be chill about it. So sometimes when I meditate for 30 minutes, as long as I want, what feels good for me. I push myself a bit, but I don't overdo it to the point where I'm sweating and I hate it. I just do what's necessary, what feels good, and then I stop. And then when I work out, I'm not at the gym for 3 hours, busting all my muscles, ripping, tearing them. I'm just working out 45 minutes, an hour, getting, a nice sweat, getting, pushing myself when I can, but then saving some tank in the gas some gas in the tank for the next day. So don't force yourself to do things. Be conscious when you take action. Consult your own feelings. The reason why you keep falling off track is because you're against yourself. You're not even on your own team. Does this ring a bell? Do you fight yourself? Do you literally Because part of you wants to stay safe and comfortable and play video games all day. And then another part of you wants to grow and expand. And when this part of you that wants to grow and expand is bullying the part of you that wants to stay safe and comfortable, what's going to happen is that you're going to sabotage yourself. You're going to have unconscious ways of relaxing. So like, if you're overworking yourself, then you're going to, watch tons of porn or play tons of video games or eat a mountain of junk food or spend 5 hours on Instagram so that you can relax, so that you can stay safe and comfortable, because you're scaring yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself with like, oh, I have to implement all these habits at once. Just relax. It's okay. It's a long-term game, one habit at a time. Okay? Don't be against yourself. Be on your own team. Yeah, 20 minutes of meditation is good in the beginning. Okay? But you need this motivation, this long-term commitment. Like Rock Lee. You just keep getting up after you fall. Keep getting up. And eventually amazing things will happen. Also, one reason why you're falling off track is that your environment is not conducive to helping you stay on track. So your shit is a mess. You need to clean. There's dishes in the sink. There's garbage in your closet. The floor's not swept. Your drawers aren't organized. That's a problem. If your environment is not conducive to your growth, you need to make it as clean and as organized as possible so that your life can flow easily. Okay? You don't need to have the perfect living situation. You don't need to live in, a mansion that has a maid and a chef that cooks for you. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to do the best you can with what you got. Okay? Master where you are at now, and then the universe will reward you and give you the opportunity to upgrade. Okay? Also, if you have self-defeating thoughts, that's going to cause you to fall off track as well. Don't be mean to yourself. Be on your own team. You got to be nice to yourself. I was talking to my cousin who is getting on this personal development self-actualization thing, and he said one of his problems, he smokes a lot of weed, wants to smoke less weed, and plays a lot of video games, wants to do less. He says one of his problems is just that he's too mean to himself. And I was like, yeah, that's very relatable. I'm used to do that too. I'd be very, very hard on myself. I need to treat myself like a mother. You got to kind of be your own mom. Be nice, unconditionally loving. It's okay. And then sometimes when you feel safe and secure, sometimes you need to be your own father, where it's like, okay, let's get the shit done. Let's do some shit, work out, cold shower, meditate. So sometimes it's time for you to be your own dad. Other times it's time for you to be your own mom. Okay? The mom is the unconditional love and acceptance, where the dad is the striving for growth. Okay? You need to balance these two. The only way you can do this is by paying attention to your feelings with mindfulness meditation and being conscious. Yoga. All right. And yeah, okay, so those were the reasons that cause you to fall off track. There's many more. There's hundreds of reasons. That's why you need to be conscious. You need to see for yourself. Maybe when you eat too much unhealthy food, that causes you to fall off track. Maybe when you smoke weed, that causes you to fall off track. You need to see what your personal patterns are. And you need to learn from them directly. So whenever you fall off track, be grateful so that you can learn a lesson. Thank you. Thank God I fell off track because I learned so much about what not to do. So now in the future, I'll be wiser. The strongest hearts have the most scars. The more you fail, the more wise you are. The more you learn what not to do, the more you'll know what to do in the future. Okay? And The next tip I'm going to give you is for when you are like in a place where you are completely off track, you are, you want to get back on track, then this is what you do. Okay, this is what helps me a lot. First of all, you need to reset your energy. Okay, so the way to do this, for me personally, that works really well. It might be different for you, but the vibe is you need to do something that's going to break you out of your conditioning and your unconscious patterns. So one thing that works great is just doing a nice workout. For me, listening to uplifting, motivating music helps me. So like Eminem, even I like listening to Eric Thomas, motivational speeches, Les Brown. Sometimes I might even need to like watch a movie or something like Rocky that inspires you. Okay, so for me, working out, listening to Eminem, get lighting that fire inside me, that really helps me stay motivated. But remember, guys, you don't need to fight with yourself. You don't need to make it like a whole ordeal. Just make it natural. Just be motivated because it's natural for you to be motivated. Don't put motivation on a pedestal where it's like when you're motivated, it's like the most important thing ever, because that's going to cause you to self-sabotage. You're going to be afraid because there's too much importance. Make it natural. Yeah, I'm motivated. I feel inspired right now. Not a big deal. Okay? For me, resetting my energy helps a lot just to go outside, go for a long walk, listen to an inspiring lecture. I like that. Get some fresh air, go spend some time in nature, stretch, move your body, dance, get in your body, enjoy. Life is good. Life is happy. Okay, so for me, resetting my energy usually always involves getting in my body and listening to music and just being happy and dancing. Next, clean your house. Okay, so if you're in a negative cycle and you want to break out, what helps me a lot, clean everything. Just wash the dishes, clean your bathroom, clean your closet, clean your room, your office, clean everything. Everything needs to be spick and span, because when you clean your external environment, that is kind of like cleaning your mind. One thing I love to do, I love washing the dishes just because I feel like I'm washing the impurities out of my mind. So if you have that intention where you clean the external environment, you're cleaning your internal environment, because when you realize non-duality, the external and internal are actually the same. Your environment is an extension of your mind. That's why if your environment's a mess, that shows you what your mind is like. So you can start by cleaning your environment, and then you'll notice your mind starts to feel a lot more clean and organized. And once your environment's clean and organized, do some journaling. Okay, write down, what am I going to focus on today? Write down, what am I feeling? What's on my mind? What's that task that's been niggling at me for months that I haven't got done? What if I just do it so I don't have to think about it anymore? Right? So get clear about your journaling and what you need to do. All right? And the key here, guys, really what to do when you fall off track, stay consistent by committing to a daily vision, committing daily to a vision, daily action as well, getting super crystal clear about your life purpose, which I am almost finished creating a mini course around. It's going to be out within the next few days. Honestly, guys, listen. I could have positioned this course to be $300, $500 with the amount of information and the amount of practices, how easy it is to go from step 1 to step 2, step 3. I've laid it all out for you so that you can get a clear vision in your life. If you feel unmotivated, if you feel like you keep falling off track, if you keep beating yourself up, that cycle is very painful. it's going to keep happening over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's going to discourage you. It's going to cause you to have a negative self-image, where you start to see yourself as someone who just fails all the time. You're not going to be able to succeed in dating or in business because you don't even feel good about yourself because you keep falling off track. If you want to stop, what you need is a vision. You need a clear purpose that's in alignment with your passions. That's in alignment with who you want to be deeply as a person, that inspires you and excites you, so that each morning you're aligning your life to your vision. You feel excited to start the day, to create something beautiful. But I found that creating a vision is complicated. There's I don't know what the hell I want to do. There's a million things in the world. I don't know what I'm passionate about. I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe I have an idea. I got a couple passions, but how do I know what's that one passion that I can commit to, that I can feel good, that is going to drive me and motivate me every single day? How am I going to find that? It's really difficult. I got to sit down with a journal. There's a lot of confusion, a lot of fear, limiting beliefs. That's why in my course, I show you how to work through all of the fear, the limiting beliefs, all of the confusion, so that you can get crystal clear about exactly what it is you want in your life. If you want to get that course for $37, then you can click the first link in the description. It's not out yet, but you can join the waiting list. It's only going to be $37 for a couple days, guys, because again, there's tons of information in here. I could be selling it for a lot more, so after a couple days, the price is going to increase to $97. Actually, might even be a lot more than that in the future. But for now, I just want you guys to get in there. I want you guys to get your passion together. So I'm making it very available, very affordable right in the beginning, just so that you guys who are serious about this can just get right in there, start doing the exercises, and get a super crystal clear passion and life purpose so that you can commit to it every single day and take that daily action. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. This was what to do when you fall off track with your growth. If you want to get a super clear vision, which is the main thing that's going to help you stay on track so that you can keep getting up after you fall, like Rock Lee versus Gara, or like Rocky in the end of that movie, then you need to have a super clear vision, and you need to commit to all of these other practices. If you liked what I was talking about today, I actually go into a lot more detail into all of these topics in my course, which is an extremely affordable price right now. I'm sorry guys, if you're watching this video in the future, like if you're like a month or two, that course will not be $37 anymore. It'll be a little bit more expensive, but it's still extremely worth it, and it'll still be way more value than you're actually paying for, because I think every single person needs to have a life purpose and a vision, and I want to make it as accessible as possible. All right, thanks guys. Remember to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. You can actually check out my other video, getting crystal clear about exactly what it is you want in your life. That video is going to kind of give you a taste of how to clarify your vision. A lot of awesome journaling questions I share with you, so you can start working on that now. You can join the waiting list for the course, and you guys already know what to do, and I'll see you in the next video.